But we'll start with public audience because we know we have people. We'll start with the pledge and then public audience. Okay. Yeah, we do. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Because we are having some off-budget spending and transfer requests due to year-end close, we have public audience on the agenda. This is a limited public forum for the purpose of hearing comment on Simsbury finances or Board of Finance agenda items. We welcome comments. They're limited to 3 minutes each, but if anyone wants additional time, I'm happy to meet with you one-on-one. So Lori, I know you have someone in the car, so.
Is it only on this agenda, or is if it's on finance, I'm okay?
Yeah, anything on finance.
All right, just wanna make sure.
Open forum.
Limited, it's actually a limited public
That's why I
forum.
just wanted to make sure. Hi, I'm Lori Boyko from 15 Oakhurst Road. I just wanted to make a couple of quick comments in the middle of the cycle and let you know that I just got my mortgage escrow statement, and thanks to the increase in the budget, my mortgage statement, because of my taxes alone, is going up $250 a month. And I heard you talking about the not likely to have a soft landing in the economy and the 10-year treasury being up, and I actually am on commission in that industry, in an industry related. And so on top of my mortgage going up $250 a month because of my taxes, the income is not coming in because of the economy. So I'm putting 5 gallons at a time in my oil tank to keep my hot water going. So I wanted to paint that picture for you because I am quite sure I am not alone. I also wanted to make a comment about something that I realized as I was watching selectmen meetings and studying things in the budget, and one of which is we give about $50,000 a year to the Main Street Partnership, which is a 501c3 organization. And my understanding is that the intent of that organization is largely for economic development within the town, which is wonderful. And I understand they've done a number of good things. That being said, their board of directors is entirely outside of our governing board of directors. So we're basically turning $50,000 a year over to an outside entity with their own board of directors made up of their own individual business owners that direct what they're gonna do with that money. And it was notable to me this year that on 2 separate occasions, their employee that works, I don't know exactly what her title is, was in front of our town governing bodies, basically lobbying either for a very small number of her board of directors members, her constituents, to get food trucks just on their properties, but not on other business properties. Or in the case of the revaluation, lobbying for lower valuations on some of her business owner properties. So effectively, it looks to me like as a town, we're paying $50,000 a year, partially for a small group of people to have lobbyists that lobby against us with our tax dollars. So I wanted to make that point. I'm gonna develop the point further and talk about it at the selectmen meeting. But it is something that I want people to think about when we're taking our money and turning it over to an outside entity that's not governed by our elected officials.
Thank you. Joe?
Joan Coe, 26 Whitcomb Drive. With an inflationary economy and a possibility of recession, it's time to think out of the box. The Board of Finance should require discipline in budgeting process. It is time we look at zero-based budget with all the items reviewed for services needed and expenses reduced. The grand list will not increase enough to increase expenditures. Reval has increased the taxes on individuals and businesses in a climate of inflation. There are many monetary pressures on individuals and businesses with discretionary expenditures greatly reduced. The budget should reflect the ability of people to pay for services provided. Businesses have started to reduce employees, causing a ripple effect on the economy. All items that are submitted in the budget should have a cost analysis to justify the need. All items included in capital projects should require future overhead expenses and continued maintenance costs for the project. When additional services are added to the budget, another item should be eliminated to balance the budget. Money that was used for the ARPA distribution with additional services should be eliminated. All special interest organizations should not be serviced by the town with staff support and should be eliminated. The Simsbury Volunteer Ambulance Association should either manage their business effectively or turn the ambulance delivery service to AMR, that is private and used by Avon and Farmington with good reviews. Simsbury's high mill rate will eventually reduce property values, making Simsbury non-competitive. The Board of Education should redistrict the schools and place the 6th grade at Henry James Junior High School. This will alleviate some of the pressures on the remaining schools with approximately 300 students transferred to the junior high. The budget for 23-24 years should reflect a 0 increase in taxes. And all of my comments will be posted on Simsbury Patch and Twitter at Joan Coe. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Joan. Before we take a break, Lee and Amy, can you talk just about outside agencies that we do fund? It was raised as a question. I know we fund the Health District, we fund Main Street, we fund Chamber. What other organizations does the town fund?
We fund Meals on Wheels. I'm trying to get
The Visiting Nurses Association.
Yeah, we give a
VNA.
little too, yeah.
Yeah, we give some to them. They also provide services for us.
The tourist, is that different?
There are
Does
some
that
that
fall
are part
under-
of the ARPA money that I'm trying not to confuse with the ones that we typically fund. But yeah, I don't have that off the top of my head.
Lee, would you say it's fair to summarize them as we don't fund them as donations, but for services they actually provide the town?
In most cases, if not all, yeah. We can provide you a complete list if you'd like for your next meeting.
Sure, that'd be great.
The names of the entities, the amount that we provide and what services are provided, sure.
That'd be great. I
Sounds
know,
like Ms. Boyko will be digging in further and probably coming back to.
absolutely.
So why don't we just maybe see how that plays out, and then if we have to do any more research, we can.
Okay.
In the spirit of not over-exercising our staff.
That's just looking in the budget book. It's not a big, not a big lift. Yeah, one of the things state law does say is towns cannot donate to organizations. There has to be a civic public purpose that is being served. We're not foundations, so there is a service for every organization theoretically that we apply for. We do not yet have Mike, and we have not yet heard from Mike, so if my suggestion is we go through and just present the savings initiatives that were done. Those require no action, and we can get those completed before we, unfortunately, looks like we may need to cancel. We were informed by Mr. Helfand that he wasn't able to meet tonight, and we thought we had a quorum and have not heard from Mike today, so we don't know what's going on there. Okay.
On the savings initiatives, this is the worksheet that you typically see every year. It was sent around to the department heads to update for their individual departments and the savings associated with either the current year or prior years that they've seen or generated via either project savings or annual savings. The majority of which is done through grants. If you take a look at the ones that were added for each department, the majority are grants related to like the Bulletproof Vest program. The police had some hybrid cruisers versus the gas cruisers. It's just a running list of all of the projects per department and what they've saved and how they've saved it. I don't have the specifics on the individual projects, but if you all have questions, happy to bring them back to the department heads if you have additional questions or additional information on these.
I didn't see a lot of new initiatives except new grants. Is that accurate, Lee, or is there something we're working on that we're thinking about?
let me make two comments. One is that we are working on a couple of things internally that may or may not bear fruit in the upcoming budget. The second is, and I think I've mentioned this in the past, the Board of Selectmen has asked me to give them a report when I finish my assignment here with my observations and recommendations. So included in that report will be some additional ideas for the town to consider. And that report will not only be a compilation of my ideas and the ideas of the rest of the staff in the town manager's office, but I'm broadening that out to ask all of the department heads to contribute their ideas in terms of savings, in terms of potential consolidations or other ways that we can save money and suggest saving money to the policymaking bodies. So I've just started working on that report, and I expect I won't have it completed until sometime in December. But hopefully that'll stimulate some further discussion and action down the road.
Excellent, thank you for that, I appreciate that. I did have 3 constituents give me ideas, so I'll just raise them here. I said I would raise them publicly on their behalf. One suggested we do something like Stamford with the regional license plate reading, where they go around. It might have to be in collaboration with other towns because we're small enough to try and capture those people who have out of state or out of town licenses that are not paying their fair share in taxes. That generated quite a bit of revenue. Another constituent asked me why we don't collect garbage, and wouldn't it be cheaper net if we went out and bid in bulk, we could get a lower price for everyone. Yes, their taxes would go up, but it might be less than what they're paying for garbage individually. That was one suggestion. And then a third resident expressed concern to me about equity in golf rates. They told me that residents pay the same amount as non-residents for golf. And we're wondering about the equity issue there, since they're contributing taxes to the golf course and the non-residents are not. That may be a marketing competitiveness thing, but it was raised by a constituent. Then the second thing I raised with Wendy, perhaps as an initiative for next year, is a credit card policy. Do we have one for the town?
We do.
We do, okay. And then the other thing I was just going to ask about is workers' compensation. Are we tracking that, and do we feel like that's within the normal range? Is there something we can do with wellness there?
We'll have to look into that. We are restarting an internal safety committee, which apparently we had at one time and then it kind of fell off. And at Kerma's urging, our workers' comp insurance carrier, we're restarting that, and those internal committees, as you probably are aware, focus on examining what workplace injuries have occurred and what can be done to ensure they don't reoccur. So that should result in future savings for the town.
Excellent. And then the last thing, I think right now our retirement benefits are all Medicare supplement, is that accurate? Has the town thought about offering a Medicare Advantage plan, not as a necessarily a switch, because some people really do like the supplement, and I'm not saying get rid of it, but as an option, some people prefer the Advantage, and that can be cost effective for the town. And I didn't know, do our retirees contribute to health once they're retired, or does the town bear the full?
It depends. So the retiree will pay 25%, their spouse will pay 100%.
Yeah, so one of the things to consider, I mean, an Advantage might be advantageous for some, because the contribution might be lower and you might be able to cover more of the spouse. It might be a net benefit for the town. It's just something to evaluate as an option, not necessarily a substitution.
It's well worth looking at. As a retiree of the city of Hartford, I have a Medicare Advantage plan, and we're actually part of the statewide plan. And as you probably know, they recently switched carriers, I think from Cigna to Aetna, and it's saving them like $100 million, some massive amount of money over time.
But with similar benefits,
Switch,
as I understand.
yeah,
correct?
so that's well worth looking into, thank you.
Okay. Did anyone else have thoughts there?
On that subject,
Not in any subject, really.
I just was thinking of the comment about monies being given to organizations. I mean, that's classic, that all levels of government pay organizations to do things in the interest of the government. And I am not concerned that there are members of the board of directors of a private organization that are not town employees. That's exactly what they do. And the question is, are they acting in our interest? Is the money being given, doing work that serves the interest of the town?
Right.
My reaction to that, I was not surprised or offended by the suggestion that they have a board of directors who are not town employees or elected. That's exactly what such organizations are in the first place.
Do businesses subscribe or join Main Street Partnership and pay a fee themselves? Do we know?
I don't know. Wendy,
Yeah.
do you know?
Wait, say that again?
Do we know if businesses sign up to be part of Main Street? Are they paying a fee?
No, they don't
Or
pay.
they don't, only with the chamber?
Okay, so each business should be treated equally.
They should be
then.
treated fairly, I would think that they are. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, the Main Street Partnership focuses primarily on brick and mortar businesses, so it's not just restaurants, it's also our small businesses.
I was just curious if they paid in.
No, yeah, there's no
Yeah,
payment.
yeah.
and they actually started as a downtown organization and they've expanded across all of town.
Well, I'd ask for,
Would you like to motion to adjourn?
Oh, that's a moment.
I
So
think at this
moved.
point,
That's a
I
moment
move
for
to
you guys
adjourn.
too.
Second.
all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And our apologies to the public, sorry that this happened.